Hey, because welcome. So this is just like I said, an analysis on the view from maps as opposed to champions and champion builds and champion compositions, team compositions, which is another thing I think we're lacking. We're lacking a lot on team compositions and map analysis or map meta ideas. So uh, where do I want to go from here? So I'm gonna just kind of give an overview snapshot because there's a lot to cover. There is the maps themselves, the drafting process within a map, or the team selection process within a map, and kind of how to play them. And I'm gonna go through one map because I actually had, well, I need to go. Let me look for it. I had a great game in Hero League like a week ago. I'll see if I can find it. It was on Dragonshire, and I played Tyrael. This isn't it. No, it's Tyrande. Another good one. Anubarak. Sylvanas. Wow. I'm not a good Sylvanas, so I probably lost that game. Um, Tassadar. This is Gajid, by the way. So that's what I'm looking for, that name. Dragonshire, Dragonshire. What is the date today? Oh, wow. This couldn't have been 2 weeks ago. Hold on. Infernal Shrines. It might have been 2 weeks ago. I wish I could. Can I search? Here we go. Tyrael, Thrall, Lily. Yes, perfect. Murky, Vala. This was great. And so, I'll just take you through the process. So one of the things, this is just one of those games that everything worked perfectly, and I'll kind of take you through the things that made it work perfectly. One major thing was the team listened, and the team was very good at working together and doing what they needed to do. So in the drafting phase, I was the first pick, and I saw that it was Dragonshire, and my thought was I need someone who can fight himself or with one other person. So this is kind of as Dragonshire, what you want is someone who doesn't need to be with a team to fight. Like you don't necessarily want like an Asmodan. I mean, you could use an Asmodan or a like I'm really not a fan of Lieutenant Morales, the medic on this map. Even Johanna's kind of iffy just because she doesn't put out a lot of damage by herself. Some, but not a lot. And she's a lot of like AoE based. So she's like team fights, she's great, but like one on one or 2v2, I don't think she's that great. Rhaegar's not really great because he doesn't put out a whole bunch of damage and he can run out of mana really quickly. He could be, I think there's potential for him to be good, but we'll see. I think Lily's okay on this one because the blind helps against auto attack champions. Kael'thas is pretty good because you can poke from range and you can snare them when they go up. So or whatever, when they come to you, you can snare them. Another thing about this map specifically, a thing that I like to do if I have the power to make the strategy, is not go for the dragon. What you do instead is you get the top shrine and the bottom shrine. Or no, you get the top shrine or the bottom shrine. Let me say that right. One or the other. And you have a couple of people that are dedicated to rotating to make sure you have. And then even if you just leave people, one person at top, one person at bottom, they're just there. If the enemy team comes, they get back off from the shrine. They say, well, let's not fight them. Let them take the shrine. The other team rotates to take the shrine that their team's not at, and then after that, the person you leave at top lane or whatever lane they just took the shrine at starts pushing the lane. So what's going to happen, or what typically will happen, is the teams, people want to get the dragon, so they're going to take one, they're going to try to take the other, and they're going to commit an amount of forces that will take it. If one doesn't take it, right, if they can't just 1v1 whoever's there, they'll send two or three there to take it, and you can just take the other one and back off your one guy. And what you do instead is you just push. You know, the gank squad can go back to middle, soak middle lane, and then you can just, with your guys, push. As soon as they leave top lane to take bottom lane, you send your guys up, make sure that you can get that shrine, and push. And you put a lot of pressure on their, excuse me. Ooh, excuse me. You put a lot of pressure on their forts this way and on their base, which is really great because so while they're trying to get the Dragon Knight, you're just like, well, we'll get experience, we'll get forts, and you put yourself really far ahead so that you start winning the fights. So let me watch solo. So we'll get into this game, and there's so much more that goes into this. Like this is that goes into this game that made it such a great game, an example to show how things could go on Dragon Shrine. In this game, we actually got DK, the Dragon Knight, very early because we were so far ahead. Second thing in this game, so I picked Tyrael and we got a Lily, and I noticed they had Artanis. So I was like, right away, I was like, Lily, wherever Artanis is, you go.
Heroes, prepare for combat.
And I gotta figure out how to... Okay, we'll just do that. Use the mini-map. There we go. So I go up with Valla, Thrall, and Lily, and I say, hey, put a DPS with me. Actually, where am I going? Oh, I'm not sure what I said. I wish I could see the text. I know I said certain people, I think I said Lily and Thrall should go together.
5, 4,
But I might have said, oh, here we go, send Thrall with Valla. Okay, send Thrall with Valla.
fight well.
So I really wanted, so I took Lily with me so she could support me while I fought. Maybe that position, maybe I could have gone with Valla so that we had extra damage and I kind of support her with my shields. That's a potential thing too. And Lily heals the Thrall. I did like that Thrall heals himself, so I was like, Lily doesn't really need to go with Thrall because he'll heal himself. But see here, yeah, we talk about, you know, we need Lily. And this is a really awesome thing from these guys, and this is something I can't stress enough, is the rotation drive. Hi Dariox, I'm glad you recognized me. I don't know if I'm back, honestly. I just really wanted to make some analysis stuff because a lot of people are asking questions about, here's the storm. Hi, cat. Whoa. Here's the storm. So, in this fight, I think at some point, right, so what happened was, and let's go back and view that. What happened was, we saw Artanis was up there. So I was like, let's get Lily top, and I'll hold it, especially since it's just Kael'thas, I can hold for a while. We send Lily top, and then we'll have those two come down, and then I go top. And it worked beautifully. Only if you promise me views, because it worked. The switch worked really well. Just getting everyone together. So here I notice all three of them are top, so it's a 3v2 situation and I'm 1v1. So I figure if they take that shrine, it's great. We can then make the switch, take bottom shrine while they push for top, and then I can go top. So you see here they're fighting. Lily's a little slow, but Lily gets there. The blind is great on Artanis. So we take it. So here's where, like, if you notice down here, I don't even try for the shrine. I've basically, that's true, you are here. Oh my goodness. Next time. Maybe next time. Where am I? Oh, there we go. So here now Thrall's come to join me. And now we can start fighting for this. So like I said, the design was that I would go up top, but that's not exactly how it worked out. That was my thought process behind it, but obviously people get caught in fights. Oh, let's look at that nice fight, because it was beautiful. But just the ability to rotate and to just kind of flow with the battle is really important in maps. So here we have this fight here. Well, I kind of blocked Thrall a little bit, but he caught up. See, it's a 1v2 because they didn't commit. They have people
Hero
middle.
slain.
So there's a lot of points where they're doing some bad things, and that allows us to get so far ahead. But, see, I don't even care that we lose this lane, or lose this shrine, because we don't need to win it. From here, the two of us could continue to push, or Thrall could push, or I could push. But here I leave Thrall alone. Figure that's good. He can hold it, he can soak, he can push. Like, he's got Chain Lightning, he can do all those things. So it's really just, you don't need the dragon, right? You just need to keep them from getting the dragon so that you can play your game.
Hero slain.
Nice. And Murky's doing great things. I love seeing a good Murky because you don't always get that. So here now I'm up here. Oh, I missed. I can take this. I don't know. Lily went back. See, we're just trading, and this is like, be fine trading on DK. So he lost it, but we're still fine. And he's holding it. You know, he's almost dead, but he's Thrall. He can sustain. He can do good things. And another thing is, the game before this, or one of the games before this, on the same night, we had a Thrall. And someone was like, GG, we lose. Thrall's bad. So it was really great to like see Thrall, and nobody was like, GG, we lose. Thrall's bad. They do great fighting. We're fighting up here. See, now we have Artanis and Lily, and this is what we really want. We want to take Artanis out of the fight with Blind. And then I can deal with what I need to deal with. Hi, cat, again. So I'm not going to show you the whole game, because it's pretty, like, at a certain point we just run away with it. So we get this. I just wanted to show you the early game and how we, like, and how the counter picks and keeping an idea of how your picks match up against theirs is really important. And we lost Thrall and Medic at the bottom, which is fine. Now we got an interesting 3v2 up. I don't remember how this goes, but I do know we got the first dragon and we just won from there on. And I'll go over the key things in just a bit.
Dragon's power is yours, hero.
Oh man, they almost took it. So you got Medic. See, this is what I'm talking about. Medic can't 1v1 anyone. Medic needs a partner. And I don't like that in this map. You don't want someone who needs a partner. Because you can't always have a partner. You can't always have a team. It's a very fluid map like that. You have to always be able to move and be able to hold your own. So now we start going. I just like, screw you.
Soon you shall
To Artanis.
wrath.
And I go for it. Murky does a great job holding back Johanna here. And then we get it. So those are, as far as, I thought I hit the pause button. As far as like, for this map, we're going to focus on Dragon Knight. In this map analysis, it's really great to have a split team and not a core team. And the difference between sort of a split team and a team fight team is, hold on one second. If you think of something like a double mages comp, which isn't as popular nowadays, but it was, so something, one of the old comps I wrote down, ETC, Uther, Malfurion, Jaina, Kael'thas. That's a very much death ball comp, where they stick together and they want to fight for things. So they're not so great on this map, because you got to split them up, and they can't like interact with each other the way that they would be designed to. A great comp for this map would be something like, you know, what we saw there. Thrall is a fighter that can sustain himself. Tyrael is a fighter that has a bit of sustain. Even Artanis is a great 1v1er. And something I would like for this is like, say, Tyrael, Lily, Zeratul, Sylvanas, and Zagara. 2 specialists to put on top and bottom. Let me just get here. 2 specialists you can just hold top, or you know, to put in top and bottom, that can push really well and apply pressure. And then the 3, whatever, Tyrael, Zeratul, Lily, maybe, or Tyrion's Heir to Tyrande, because Tyrande adds extra damage and has a little bit of healing, so she can be good in like one or two 1v1 or 2v2s like that. I think Tassadar's pretty okay at a 1v1 or 2v2 because he does also add extra damage. He can escape when things get bad. So that's nice. Stuns are nice. You send them back and forth, just up and down, up and down. While, like, say if this was Sylvanas, she could be pushing now to her heart's content. Even if we didn't have the Dragonite, she could just sit here and push. And if they come at her, she doesn't have to hold the shrine. She can just be like, whoa, there's more than one of them coming at me. I'm going to back up. And she's got a great escape. And then when we see that there's 2, 3, 4 down bottom, we just send our team up top. Make sure we have that shrine. And then we have Zagara start pushing. And then as soon as we take it, we don't stay. We take it and we move down and keep it. I think that's a very effective strategy. Wow, I'm saying M a lot. I think that's a very effective strategy for DK. You don't need to like move your entire team down and take, and then get the Dragon Knight, which is something you could do. And if you had a composition that was more Death Volley, or a Death Volley or protect the DPS, where you need multiple sources of protection, then maybe that's how you would play it. You try to Zerg the shrines, get the kills, and then you get the DK. The problem with that, one of the difficulties is that early death timers are so low that people can come back. There, I said it again. People can come back really quickly and get into the fights in the early timers. So it's really hard to hold something, and they come back at full health where you are not at full health because of the fight, and they died, which is like healing. So you could go back and heal and then come in, but then you're wasting that time going back. And if you're a Zerg composition or a Deathball comp trying to go from one place to another place to get the objectives, you lose time, and you can't really lose that time. Granted, if you have double healers like Malfurion and Uther, maybe you don't need to go back because you have the sustain and the mana, but that's a thing to consider as well. So it's really good to just kind of think, okay, what's an effective strategy? And then you can extrapolate down that and say, okay, what's an effective strategy to beat that strategy? Yeah. So I really should have planned a little bit more. Let's see, quit replay. For this kind of topic, but it's so big. And so I wanted to just give an overview of what are the different ways to handle or to tackle going into a map. Heroes of the Storm is a lot more than just your hero and your talents. Your talents could change any game. So as far as an analysis on how you want to do Dragon Knight or Dragonshire, that's a really great way to do things. Again, you could even say Brightwing might be pretty good on this map because she can bounce to different places really easily. Obviously Falstad, he's actually a great fighter. Falstad could be your replacement to a Zagara and Sylvanas. I know that specialists in general have fallen out of favor because you can do what a specialist does with just a ranged DPS. Falstad could fill that role because you could get something like Seasoned Marksman, and you just sit there in your lane and you farm. And you farm and you farm and you farm and you farm. If they come at you, you back up, you let them take the shrine, you let your team do its thing, you come back, you farm and you farm and you farm and farm and farm. So Falstad would be great for that. Raynor, same sort of thing. The nice thing about Falstad is he can jump across the map, which is very good. But Raynor, he's really great at pushing, especially once he gets stealth. He can inspire the friendly minions to attack faster, get more damage out of them. He can use his ult to just attack fortresses and stuff. So he could also fill that sort of specialist stay in your lane role and get stronger for late game, which I think is a great thing. I love Seasoned Marksman. But that's a different story. There are lots of resources as well to look up different maps and see how people win them. One of the ways I go through my theory crafting, if I don't understand if I'm losing a lot, on a map and I just can't seem to figure out what it is, I go. I was like, okay, what wins and why? Caldor TV is on YouTube. He's a great resource that I've used to see things. I had thought when thinking about making these analysis things, I had thought, well, maybe I find some great examples from the pro videos to show people. That is a thing I should have done, but I really wanted to kind of get this out there to get it started, and then I can make more later, especially with other maps. And it'll be especially helpful because there's maps like Infernal Shrines and what's the other one? Battlefield of Eternity, that I kind of have a general sense, but I haven't put thought and time into it to figure out what is the best. But anyways, like if you just go to Caldor TV on YouTube, he's got a ton of videos of the European pro scene, which I really enjoy watching. They do all sorts of fun things. They play a lot. They have lots of tournaments. He likes to showcase a lot of things that are different or fun. So it's a very good, that's where I get a lot of my knowledge from, as well as just playing. And maybe next time I do a map, I can look into getting more videos and sort of analyzing what the pros are doing in a specific situation and using that. For now, any questions? If there's anyone about, if anyone has questions, I'm gonna look, see if I can see. It's kind of sad. Does the Twitch app on the thing not have people anymore? Like I can't show the people in the thing. Let's see. Right. So, thank you guys for sticking around. And I know that was kind of short and didn't have a whole lot to it. But yeah, questions. As I'm waiting for questions, I'm just reading some of the responses to this guy's post on Reddit, and someone says, the implication of your question is there a best way for me to run each map individually, and what is it? And he says, if there is, nobody will really know it. Unless he means like, as one player without a team, is there a best way to do a thing? Yeah, that's probably, every situation is different. But there is kind of a best way to do things on each map if you have a team. How much can you see of it, actually? Hold on. I need to get my real time. Yeah. This I got from Ireland in 2007. Yeah, Christmas of 2007. So I've had it for 8 years. Wow. That's a long time. Anyways, another example of sort of a map that has a pretty... I don't want to say it's the only strategy. There are probably a couple of strategies, but one of the easiest and best strategies is a double specialist gank squad. I call it a split push gank squad comp. What it is a tank, a DPS, a healer, like Muradin, Malfurion, Zeratul. In this list, the reason I had Malfurion was so that he... Wow, thanks. Malfurion could give mana back to Muradin. My initial thought was like, how can I take advantage of Malfurion's passive, giving mana back? So I have Muradin, Malfurion, Zeratul. Great gank squad. You can just go in, get stuns, get roots, get kills. Tyrande and Muradin and another DPS are good, like Butcher to Tyrande. Like a lot of people put a stunner frontliner plus Tyrande, which is really great because she's got the damage boost and the, her passive damage boost, and then she's got a stun to follow up. But then you have two specialists. Really, as long as they're good pushing specialists, that's pretty much all you need. Zagara and Sylvanas are some of the best. So so you put them in two different lanes. Sorry. Nice. That's really good. Just found out I don't have like any leg, which is great. So you get this split push comp, and this is great for Blackheart's Bay. I forgot kind of where I came from this. Blackheart's Bay is really good with split push. You put a specialist up top, a specialist on bottom, and you have your gank squad hold middle, get coins, go for ganks, do stuff like that. Putting a specialist on top always means you have a lot of pressure there. If you put Sylvanas on top, she can easily get out of there. You see Zagara on bottom a lot in pro games because of her creep. She has great vision control that she can move all the way up to the coins. And then whatever three, fighter dudes you want to stick out there. You just do that. So, yeah, that's one of those maps. I think that is like High Cat. That is a great strategy for that map, and one of the strongest because it gives you the XP you need, the mobility you need, does all sorts of stuff like that. So that's kind of, I gave you two maps in one video that I wasn't planning on. I didn't go very in depth. I didn't have the only replays I have playing that comp in that map are probably really old, which is sad. But anyway, so that's kind of my analysis. My goal is to kind of to get this on YouTube and kind of put it out there so that people kind of start getting a more understanding. If there is interest, I might do more. I can go in depth. Again, there are tons of things, like just even team comps in general. This kind of analyzing a team comp and then seeing what maps it's good in, what's bad in, looking at all the maps, seeing what kind of different strategies might work. Counters to that, like we saw in DK Lily countering Artanis and just sticking to that. So as far as the DK analysis goes, like, pick people that can fight without a team. Pick or know how your team stacks up against their team and make sure you're putting your strengths against their weaknesses. And don't be dead set on getting both shrines. Just rotate to keep them off both shrines and put on pressure. Those are the things I'd say for that one. Anyways, thank you guys for watching.